June was chosen as Pride Month to commemorate the Stonewall riots of 1969. It is much more than just a month where people share an explosion of rainbows. Pride is about honoring the work of queer elders who fought for gay rights through discrimination and violence. It is a month to celebrate the joy of the queer experience, and above all else, acknowledge a refusal to live with or to be governed by shame. This week, we are celebrating Pride on Diva Who Hustles. This platform gives me the unique opportunity to connect and reach divas all around the world. On this week's episode, I want to use this platform as a stage to amplify the voices of our brothers and sisters in the LGBTQ+ community and let them share their stories with each and every one of you. We're so excited to be joined by Lucia Lucas, Taya Kashara, and the cast members of New York City's groundbreaking production of Stonewall that premiered last summer. We welcome all divas, hustlers, artists, and individuals here on this platform of every stripe of the rainbow. Happy Pride Month from Diva Who Hustles. Stay tuned for one of the best episodes ever.
Hello, my name is David Lomelí. I'm currently the Director of Artistic Administration and Editor-in-Chief for the TDO Network at the Dallas Opera. I want to wish you a happy Pride Day, month, and year. There shouldn't be a minute in anyone's life to not celebrate who you are and who you choose to love. Today, more than ever, the world needs more love than hate. Here at the Dallas Opera and at the TDO Network, we commit to fight to make sure that music, just as love, should be for everyone. Happy Pride.
Hey everybody, it's Michael Heaston. It's June, it's Pride Month, and it's my honor to talk to you about what Pride means to me. Pride means embracing who you are, and I found that ability to do so through my life and career in the arts and through all of the wonderful mentors who taught me at a very early age that I had something to offer. And even though I was a little different from maybe other people around me, my voice mattered. Pride is courage. Pride is being expressive and speaking loudly about what you believe in. It's bringing your best self to the table and inspiring others. This is Pride. Pride can be the happiest day of your life. And even though my late husband isn't with us anymore, the arts brought us together. Pride brought us together. RBG brought us together, literally here. Pride is courage. And pride is when I look around now and say pride is a call to action. And with all my LGBTQ brothers and sisters out there, our call to action is to realize our work is never done. We're always looking forward. And our pride this month also needs to include standing with our Black and brown brothers and sisters, and all of us taking a stand and moving things forward. Happy Pride.
Hi everyone, my name is Jill, and I just want to wish you all a very happy Pride. June rolls around and I really have to think about all the men and women that being able to be out and walk in the world in their truth was just not an option. And the sacrifices and the pain that they went through, I can never repay, but I do want to pay it forward. And so for this month and this June, I want us all to find our humanity. I want us all to embrace the fact that other is not scary and walk through this time with love and peace and integrity and dignity and no shame, but humility, knowing that we are part of a bigger picture and a bigger tapestry of our humanity. I wish you all a very safe, happy celebration, even if it's not exactly what we're all used to, but we will find our joy and no one can take our colors away. So happy Pride. I love all of you. Stay safe, wash your hands, and hopefully I'll see you on an opera stage at some point. Take care.
Hi, Hi, all of you divas who hustle. I know that there are lots of you out there watching this right now, so I just wanted to say hello and happy Pride! Happy Pride month of June! You know, for so much of my life, I really identified as an ally because I didn't know that I was bisexual. And when the bisexuality came forth in my life and I understood that and it was a part of my life, it felt like the puzzle pieces had just fit together in a way that they hadn't before. So this month is always a celebration for me. Even amidst this pandemic, which is affecting all of us and shutting down Pride festivals and parades and stuff like that, which is really sad. But even with all of that, this month represents something that no pandemic can squelch. This month represents unity and acceptance and love. And these are three of my favorite things on earth. So go out and celebrate Pride in the most socially distanced and best way you can possibly imagine it. If you are gay, straight, or somewhere in between, Pride Month has a place in your life. You can be an ally, you can celebrate who you are, and believe me, I am here to celebrate every single one of you. So much love. Have the happiest of Pride Months. Mwah. Love you guys.
It's Pride! During a global pandemic, in a time of much needed but deeply concerning national upheaval and a major crisis for the entire country. Yay!
But maybe this is what we needed. As much fun as glitter and parades are, and all-night parties, we must never forget that the first Pride Parade was a riot and a protest against police brutality. And we can't forget that making sure that the most vulnerable among us are healthy and safe is what is most necessary in any community and in any society. Happy Pride. Never forget, and keep on fighting.
You were one of the youngest sopranos to ever be accepted to COC. What was that experience like?
It was kind of like a dream come true. So I just went for it. I grew up really quick, just realizing I was very naive in terms of my life experience, my stage experience. So I learned very quickly that I needed to figure out who I was as a person. Just realizing that every voice and every person is going to have their own unique journey and their own unique time when they can fully blossom.
So I know we all change a lot from our 20s to our 30s, but was there a moment when you made the choice to be who you are today?
I'm choosing that every day. I think that's a daily, not battle, but maybe a daily challenge to choose authenticity, to choose what feels right, to listen to my gut and to live that and to not be afraid to live that. But I think, yes, it was leaving the COC. So then I was about 25. It was like a start of a journey when I started to realize, okay, I don't think I'm straight. I needed to explore something else, like outside of an institution, that I wasn't just an opera singer, that I was many things. I started to look to theater and I started writing. I started thinking about multidisciplinary creation and also being a part of that. And that's where I was able to explore my gender. For me, it's not about a binary of being just a woman or a man, but to explore all aspects of that. So it was sexuality, it was gender, it was also looking at my heritage, my race, and not denying my Japaneseness as well.
That's awesome. I'm obviously like a huge fan of your singing because I think your voice is just like bonkers amazing. Like you can sing anything from Madame Mao to Mona Lisco and it's all good.
Thank you.
What are some of your dream roles?
I've started to look at Salome actually over the past 3 years. Lady Macbeth, I've done. Love to do that one again. Componist Salome, I got to do my first Madame Butterfly in January, which was amazing with the Windsor Symphony Orchestra. So that was a huge dream and I would love to do it again. Tragic characters, triumphant characters, you know, and I would love to do like a Mimi because it's just so beautiful. And it would just be such a fun opportunity to play into the feminine so deeply as well, right? And I'd love to play pants roles. So all of it. I just love to transform.
And so what have been some of your other entrepreneurial projects that you've done as well?
Theater creation and producing my own works, a solo show called The Queen in Me. And I take the Queen of the Night and I give her platform and voice. So she stops the aria and is basically advocating for the other sopranos out there, you know, the ones that are considered evil or two-dimensional or vile or tragic or unruly, all of those kinds of things. And also for the sopranos that play these types of characters, and ultimately for the singer who is playing her in that moment, which is me.
Let it be known, I am not done. I'm not going to sell out or give up. I'm not going to stop singing opera or stop being the queen of the night.
I hope so many different types of people see it. And I want different types of people to see it. Theater goers, opera goers as well. I want them to be shocked. I want them to be provoked. I want them to wake up.
I also co-founded an opera company called Amplified Opera, which creates space for equity-seeking artists to enhance public discourse. We want to really create more of a conversation and using opera as that medium. Right now, I'm doing an internship in artistic direction with Nightwood Theatre, which is Canada's longest feminist theatre company here. I feel like all of those skills and those experiences that I'm having, albeit not opera-specific, like not singing specific, I feel like they are really enhancing what I can bring to the table as a performer, as an artist.
You had said in 2014 that you wanted to quit singing. How did you come back into the art form and find a place for yourself?
Yeah, it was tough. And I think a lot of that had to do with accepting myself fully and accepting my sexuality, accepting my gender expression and my race, all of it. But being able to still love opera and to go back to that pure, unbridled joy was really important for me. And to realize it's like, okay, I can still be who I am and embrace all of who I am and still sing opera, but not have to do it in a way where I felt like I was meeting other people's expectations, but where I could do it in my own way. It's that journey of self-acceptance and self-love that has really helped me to still be able to be an opera singer.
And would you have any advice for other artists who might be struggling with their gender and with their identities from your past experience?
Listen to yourself, be kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself, be a friend to yourself. And as much as you can, allow for that space of exploration and of what feels right, because listening to your gut, I think, is the most important thing. And to try to be someone else or try to be someone that you think you should be, it's just going to be harder and harder to uncover truth in your inner voice. Just keep following that. Keep listening to that inner voice. Yeah.
That's so great. And I know that you're going to be doing amazing things, and I'm excited to see what you do.
Thank you so much for this. I really appreciate it. It was wonderful to talk to you again and to see you after all these years.
Hi everyone, my name is Alexandra Lucian.
I'm Annie Rosen.
We are both opera singers.
And we are married to each other.
Yes, we are. We met at Central City Opera in 2011, so opera has been the haven for our love for quite some time.
Things have come a long way since then for the queer community. Note that we are married, but we still have a long way to go, and that's why Pride has always been so important to both of us.
Absolutely. And we just wanted to send out a little message of love to all of you out there and let you know that if you are struggling or feel like you're alone, you're not. There's a whole community of people in opera waiting for you, ready to embrace you.
Call us. We love you.
We love you. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Hi, I'm Tara Branham. I'm a director for theater and opera, and I'm here to say thank you. Pride for me is about being able to define the home within myself and share that with the community that I call home. Thank you to the queer community for giving me the opportunity to define that for me. Happy Pride.
My name is Francesca Zambello. I'm speaking to you from my home near Cooperstown, New York. It's very hard to think about pride right now in the face of all of the catastrophic events that are facing our country. The only ray of hope that I can think about is that we, people who are gay, who have been subjected to incredible discrimination in our lives and our careers, have somehow managed to rally. I pray that we can help those and work for justice with all Americans right now. It is the most important mission ahead of us. I want everyone to reflect on that in this time of pride, and let us share our work and our actions, because actions will make things happen. Change does not happen by words, it happens by actions. Thank you very much.
Happy Pride, everyone. I'm Dolan G. I use they and he pronouns, and I'm going into my senior year at WVU as a voice major and integrative and contemporary performance major. Pride to me as an artist means being able to express myself fully and genuinely, even if I'm playing a character. That's come about for me in playing typical pants roles, but having it be a full expression of my gender identity, and being able to write and compose jazz music that really encapsulates all of my feelings. So I hope that in the future the opera community and all of the arts communities can have things like female baritone roles and a general acceptance of including queer artists, composers, and performers. Have a happy Pride Month, everyone.
Happy Pride 2020.
Zoe, happy Pride.
What does it mean to us to be part of this community? I think it means that we don't have to be quiet. We get to celebrate out loud. We get to actually show and state our love, and
openly and affirmingly, and you know, for us, all we want is to be part of the fabric of this community, of this country, of this world, of this society, so that it's not other anymore, but it's just part of it, and because it's certainly part of us.
Exactly.
Individually and as a couple. It's important to celebrate and reinvigorate the reason we get to be open and honest.
Exactly.
And my God, let's hang on to that. Vote.
Yeah, we have to get out the vote, but we also have to take a moment. Today we couldn't not recognize our Black brothers and sisters, certainly in our own LGBTQIQ community, but the world at large, as we all reach a new level of change that has to happen. And we've certainly been a part of the change in our own community, and we need to be that in the greater community. So we send out our most heartfelt sympathy to the family of George Floyd, whose memorial was today. So
yes.
So we pause in our own celebration and humbly offer our collective support.
Our support and acknowledge things must change, and they must change now.
Must change now.
Things did change for us as a community. Maybe not entirely, we're not there yet, but it is possible. So we need to embrace it and walk forward with strength, belief, and celebration.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
So I am here with Lucia Lucas, a wonderful singer and advocate for the LGBTQ community. Hello and welcome to the show. Where are you joining us from?
Hi, I'm joining you from Germany, where I'm based, actually.
That's so awesome. So what are some of the roles that you've performed throughout the world?
Recently performed in Tulsa about a year ago. Was actually my American debut. I did, I was a student there and I grew up in California, but I finally got to go back there as a main stage artist. Yeah, sing Giovanni in Don Giovanni for Tulsa Opera. Yeah, I'm very thankful to Tobias Picker, who's also a composer and he's the artistic director at Tulsa, and invited me there. But I am primarily based in Germany. My wife is Fast in Karlsruhe. We're both full-time opera singers. I was full-time Fast for 7 years, and now I'm just freelance.
Who have been some of your mentors in the business and advocates in the business? Because I know it hasn't been a smooth journey at every step of the way.
The thing is, the way I try and live my life is, if I'm happy where I am right now, then every single thing that has led me to this moment is part of my story, is part of me. All the good things, all the bad things, and anything that I had to overcome made me stronger and brought me to this moment. Because I really do believe that every decision that you make, can shift the trajectory of your life. I just decided that I was going to try this. And it wasn't for me to decide that it wasn't going to work. I wasn't going to disqualify myself. I was going to make somebody else do that, and I was going to make their job doing that really, really hard. I did want to specifically, I know I mentioned him before, but thank Tobias Picker. Tobias Picker is probably the single most important figure in my career, not just for bringing me to Tulsa, but we've talked a lot. We've had really great conversations about being artists, and we have future collaborations. We're doing Danish Girl. He's been a huge, huge influence. And my wife, of course, she's the ears that hear me the most. And I trust what she has to say about things. I feel like I have learned communication through this art of opera, because when I was growing up, I couldn't communicate the most basic needs that I had, the most basic desire that I had to be myself. For people who are questioning their gender, there's so many resources out there. The Mermaids site, Mermaids UK, and it talks about kids who are questioning their gender. It's a giant encyclopedia of resources for that, because it's not easy. You really need to talk with people about it. You really need to understand. One of the things that I would love to communicate is that the idea of transition, I'm guessing everybody has a different sort of concept of what that is. The most important aspect of that is social transition. Many people go through a moment of social transition where they reveal something about themselves to their family, to their friends, to their co-workers. I think everybody can relate to that, and really that is the only thing that is important about people who are transgender. We all have a secret or something like that that we shared with somebody, and it made us feel better. It made us feel better about ourselves. It made us feel more understood. And I think people can really relate to the feeling of being better understood, and that's been very important to me.
I mean, I love what you said about using the art form of opera to really express who you are. You found your way through your music. You are who you are, but you can also play any of these other roles.
Yeah, when I did the villains in Hoffman, I played them as male and female.
Having the career that you have, like, do you think that other artists coming up are going to have an easier time because
I sure hope so. I mean, that's why I'm doing this. I'm doing me because I'm doing me, but I can't really be a stealth female baritone. So why not talk about it? Why not be really frank? Because I think that the more of these questions you answer, the more of these myths you dispel, the easier it's going to be for the next person.
I am just so grateful to you for doing this.
Growing up a bisexual in West Hollywood, California is nothing remarkable. It wasn't until I went to college that I realized how truly fortunate I was. I never had to struggle with identity. I'm perfectly binary. I fit in wherever I go. I didn't have to deal with ostracization, discrimination, threats of physical violence, like many of my friends, colleagues, and my partner. Bringing my daughter to Pride is everything. Showing her that love is love. Bringing her to the biggest party of the year. Showing her that art is a universal language we can all communicate through. And showing her directly that taste is totally subjective. Happy Pride!
Hi everyone, my name is Jonas Hacker. I'm an operatic tenor, shmur, and I'm here to celebrate Pride with you today by talking about my experience in the opera Fellow Travelers, which is by Greg Spears and Greg Pierce. The piece is set during the McCarthy era and is ultimately about the failed romance between two gay men, Timothy Laughlin, who is a writer, and my character, and Hawkins Fuller, who is a government worker. The piece is centered around a little talked about piece of American history called the Lavender Scare, in which thousands of gay and lesbian government employees were systematically removed from their jobs by Senator McCarthy, and these people were left jobless and exposed ultimately in a world that for the most part was not ready to accept them, and suicide rates skyrocketed in the community, and it was just a terrible thing. Playing Tim for me was an incredibly cathartic experience because his life very closely mimics mine, oddly enough. He grew up a religious conservative, Catholic specifically, and had to come to terms with the dichotomy of that and his truth, his homosexuality later on in life, which is very similar to what I had to do in my life. And so it was truly an honor and wonderful to finally represent someone from my community on stage, because opera is an incredibly ancient art form and we are virtually unrepresented in the standard repertoire. It was just a wonderful experience. If you get a chance to see the show, please, it's beautiful music, it's a great story, it's heart-wrenching. So thank you for joining me, and happy Pride, everyone.
Austria, where I'm currently a member of the opera ensemble here. But for the longest time, I was really worried that there wasn't a place for me in the opera industry, as I truly am. So coming out was terrifying. But then on the other side of it, just so incredibly life-changing and liberating, both as a person and an artist. I feel like I now have this freedom and confidence that I never had before. I have a wife, a beautiful son, and I feel proud to be a visible member of the queer opera community.
Hey friends, I just wanted to come on here and share a little story for Pride in celebration of this amazing community and all that it's given me through the years. My two moms, when I was a kid and my brother and I were little, we used to go to Provincetown, Massachusetts every summer. We'd spend 2 weeks playing in the water and walking up and down the main street, going to cool restaurants and seeing shows and buying t-shirts and art galleries, and like, that was my whole life, was waiting for that 2 weeks of summer. So when I was 4 years old, before I knew the joys, and I was just a small child, we were walking down Main Street, I was in the stroller, and these two women are in front of us, and they're in matching head to toe white, big, huge, cool hats, feathers, floor length gowns in white. And I, being the fierce pre-diva that I was at age 4, said, Mom, look, those are those two beautiful women I've ever seen in my life. And they turned around and they were some fierce ass drag queens. And I have been proud ever since. So thank you to this community that's given me my life, that's made me who I am, and that's given me so many beautiful friends and experiences. I love you. One love. Love is love. All the love. So much love.
You're living for him to appease him.
everyone, I'm Griffin Candy, and I am the composer of the opera Suites by Kate.
And I'm Aiden Feldkamp. I premiered the role of Elizabeth in Suites by Kate. And I'm also a trans non-binary librettist. I think it's super important to have LGBTQ representation in opera, not only for audiences, but for the artists themselves. It took a long time for me to be able to play a role that actually expressed who I was, and I want to see more and more of that in opera all the time. Not only do we have writers and composers who are LGBTQ, but we have singers and pianists and instrumentalists, and I think that we need to incorporate everyone into the opera world. There's so many more stories to be told.
Absolutely. And the work of this, as always, doesn't just fall on LGBTQ artists. It relies on everybody. We really need allyship as well, both on the creative end and with producers and directors and music directors and donors and board members and audience members especially. So we can't expect the vast amount of work that it's going to take to get more representation on stage to fall just on one set of shoulders. So let's all work there together.
I'm Kira Desura. I'm a proud lesbian and performer, and I've known these things about myself all my life. I've been met with nothing but love and acceptance in the operatic and artistic community, and I know I've been afforded this from the hard work of the people that have come before me. I remember seeing the It Gets Better video by Patricia Rissette and Beth Clayton, and I'm here to say that it has gotten better, and I just wanted to add my voice to the legacy of support and say, go out and tell your stories.
I'm Lisa Chavez. I'm a mezzo-soprano, and I played Maggie in Stonewall. Like many of the characters, she is loosely based on visual accounts of the Stonewall uprising.
Hi, I'm Jessica Fischenfeld, and I played Leia in Stonewall.
Hi, I'm Joseph Butel, bass baritone, and I played the role of Troy in Stonewall.
Hi, I'm Brian James Meyer, and I played Carlos in Stonewall.
Hi, my name is Jordan Weatherston Pitts, and I played Renata in Stonewall.
Being in Stonewall was actually a life-changing experience. It was one of the most profound experiences I've ever had as a performer. There was the biggest sense of community within a show. It was truly a coming together of all these different characters, and I think representing someone in a community that was bigger than myself was just challenged me in a way that was totally life-changing.
Being in Stonewall for me was a very personal experience, as well as a collective experience. I was able to celebrate Pride for the 50th anniversary, being a gay man, in a way that I felt was very meaningful, giving homage to those who came before me and were able to help get us to where we are today.
For me, Stonewall was both a learning experience. We all knew what Stonewall was, but I can really only speak for myself. I knew that it happened, but I didn't really know a lot of the specifics. And so this was a chance for me to really learn, and learning about these historical people that may or may not have thrown a heel or threw a brick or broke a window or started a fire. Some of it we know and some of it we don't. And putting it into our world and telling our version of that story was incredibly special, and getting to create these characters along with unbelievable colleagues was a life-changing experience, and one that I will never forget for sure.
Stonewall changed my life, just like everyone here. The most remarkable thing about it for me was that I got to, for the first time in opera, and actually represent somebody in my own community, right? A person of color that's queer. It changed my life. How often do you get that chance? And then on top of that, the community, the love, the things that we felt in the show and in the production and in creating this work of art was unlike anything I've ever experienced, and I think I ever will experience again in opera.
So Stonewall for me was an eye-opening experience. The biggest word that comes to mind, if I was just to think of one word, it was love. The end of the opera, when we're all singing together, at every show, like even now I can feel it, like my eyes are starting to water. I looked around at everyone and it was just so much love all together. It just touched me so much.
One of the most insane moments for me in this whole experience of doing the Stonewall Opera was during the riot scene, seeing people from all backgrounds, all orientations, a huge span of the gender spectrum coming together and in that moment fighting, and every single person, whether they were a member of the LGBT community or not, gave 100%. And for that moment, every night, every performance during that scene, I could see that everybody on that stage was a member of our community and were fighting to tell a story that was so huge, still is, in the development of gay rights and this modern movement that has given me so many of the freedoms that I have and still have to fight for every single day. To see those people, it was indescribable. It was indescribable.
A line that sticks out to me that resonates so deeply is "much to be done," and that is said at the very end of the show in the finale. And it's a message both of hope, and we are already making good progress, but we're not there yet.
Happy Pride from the cast of Stonewall.